Hi Winederlusters, and in this episode we're off to Orange. Welcome to the Winederlust podcast. My name's Jeanene and I run a wine events business in Canberra. But my real passion is travel, and my bucket list is to travel to every wine region in the world. In this series I'll be exploring some regional Aussie wine destinations. I'll give you some tips whether you're planning a romantic getaway, a girls' weekend, or you're dragging the kids along. So pour yourself a glass and let's get exploring. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we're talking about today, the Wiradjuri people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Orange is a bit of a strange name for a town, particularly when it doesn't grow any oranges. There are lots of apple orchards around, however. The town of Orange is located in Western New South Wales, and this region's usually considered pretty warm. But Orange has its own little microclimate. The town has an elevation of over 800 metres, making it one of the highest wine-producing areas in Australia. It's located at the base of an extinct volcano, Mount Ngunnawal. The word derives from the local Indigenous language, meaning two shoulders, which refers to the summits of the mount. It's one of the highest mountains in the region with amazing 360-degree views from the top. My dad used to actually take us there in the winter hoping we'd see snow. We never did, but it did get pretty frosty. It's an extinct volcano with fertile volcanic soil, and we know that that is good for growing grapes. Along with the weather, this is a really exciting wine region that I think has really grown in popularity in the last few years. My guest today is Pam King of Country Food Trails in Orange. You're in for such a treat with this chat. Pam is so knowledgeable. She's fourth generation in the region. She knows a lot of the history, and she provides us with tons and tons of cellar door recommendations. So welcome, Pam, to the Winederlust podcast. It's great to have you. So you run Country Food Trails, and you also have some accommodation in Orange. Firstly, can you tell us all about Country Food Trails?
Okay, well, Country Food Trails was set up by a lady who kicked off through COVID because she has an international tour business. And of course, in lockdown, she thought this was a good idea and started Country Food Trails. We're doing wine tours, of course, hence why I'm talking to you. We do the Village Trail, which also has a couple of wineries out at the beautiful historic Millthorpe. We do history walks through the Orange CBD, which are really interesting, or if necessary, I can drive people around town with a history tour. We do farm tours, which is my passion because I grew up on an apple orchard.
Oh, great.
Which Orange has renowned for apple orchards in the past, becoming less and less now, though. And, of course, I can customise any tour that people would like to do. So it can be a bit of farm, bit of wine, bit of everything, really.
Oh, that sounds great.
So,
and is wine tours the most popular, or which ones are getting the most?
Yes. Through COVID, of course, the walking tours was the most popular because people could self-distance, but now wine tours is the most popular. So, yes.
Can you tell us a bit of the history of Orange? Like, I heard it was named after I think it was a prince that went to war.
The Prince of Orange of the Netherlands. Apparently he met Major Mitchell, who was the main surveyor in this central Western New South Wales area for a very long time, many, many years. And we believe, no one knows for sure, but we believe they became, well, we understand they became firm friends. So we believe that Major Mitchell named Orange after him.
Oh, right.
Prince of Orange.
And what's one of the highlights around town that you show people?
Oh, well, we developed on the back of the gold mining history, gold panning. Right. Orange was Ophir near Orange was the first place where payable gold was found in Australia. So, I mean, Bathurst claims that as well because apparently the official office for weighing and registering the gold was at Bathurst, so people had to travel there to do that. We still do have a gold mine, a rather large gold mine out the back behind Mount Canoblus, so to the south of Orange,
Wow.
who support a lot of community groups and small business as well,
And
which
can
is
people
good.
go gold panning out there?
Yes, definitely. There's still little bits of gold to be found.
Oh, that sounds great. So tell us, with some of the wine tours, what sort of wineries do you go to? Have you got any recommendations for us?
My preference is the small wineries where you meet the grower, winemaker, or both, like it might be the same person. So, yeah, there's quite a few of those: Orange Mountain Wines, Cargo Road Wines, the Strawhouse Winery, Burn Farm, Dindima, Brandgain, Macquarie Dale, Holmer, and of course Charloo. And they've just recently won a Halliday Award, the young couple at Charloo, as the Dark Horse Award.
Oh,
so
wow.
pretty amazing.
Oh, that's
So
great.
there's more wineries than I mentioned, but the
Oh, of
wineries
course,
that I
yeah.
think do great food is Macquarie Dale do the best charcuterie platters.
Right.
Word of Mouth do fabulous cheese platters. Heifer Station do great cheese platters. For food pairing with your wine, there's Dindima and Ross Hill and Rowley do have great experiences with their food pairing. There's wineries set up for a wine bar experience that do food as well as purchase a bottle of wine and just go and hang out for a while. So there's Heifer Station, Borrowdale. Borrowdale has their beautiful sky room, which has amazing views across to the east. Seesaw also do wine bar style days. Stockman's Ridge as well. Degustation at a dining. So good dining at Borrowdale, Printhie, Swinging Bridge, and Rowley has also recently opened a dining area.
Wow. I've heard Heifer Station are great for kids as well because they've got a little patching zoo.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And it's all fenced, like the inside the winery, it's fairly well contained. So, and there's sand pits for the kids to play in and chooks to talk to. And there's Truffles, the pig down the back, and some goats and sheep and a little Shetland or miniature horse down there. Yeah, very cute.
So there's winery experiences for everybody, because some of those degustation ones sound fantastic if you're coming with friends or a partner. And then if you've got the kids, go to the one with the zoo. So
yes, absolutely. Yep.
It's such a established wine area now. Like, I think people didn't know about it for a long time, but it's become really well known, I think, for its great cool climate wines now.
Yes, the wine region has really become quite well known. Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are the two hero wines in this region. But being a cool climate wine area, we have beautiful wines, and the soft textures and characters and flavours that come through with the long ripening period makes a real difference. For instance, the Hunter Valley is picking in December, January, whereas out here they're not picking until March, harvesting until March.
It's amazing that, isn't it? Just a few hours up the road and how different it can be. So tell me about the farm tours.
Yes, there's a hazelnut farm, there's a fig farm, there's a chestnut farm, there's a place that grows all sorts of fruit called Hillside Harvest. So they do pick your own, and they have a shop with a bit of a cafe there on the side of the road. So it's a great place to visit. Oh, there's a saffron farm. Oh, there's also the berry farm as well. So we've got quite a few different farms we can visit.
And Pam, you also offer accommodation, some luxury cottages. Can you tell us about those?
Well, we've been in tourism for 12 and a half years, and we started with the accommodation. So we've got 3 beautiful villas that overlook Lake Canoblus. Our property name is Lakeview Luxury Retreat. So, and it's specifically set up for couples only. 2 couples in 1-bedroom villas, or 2 couples travelling together can go into the 2-bedroom villa.
Fantastic. Pam, you were saying that if you have 2 couples, but are they those king single beds that you can split in half?
Yes, we can split the beds. So if you're travelling like girlfriends travelling together, we can split beds and put them in the 2-bedroom, or even in one of the 1-bedrooms. We can do it in all the villas. So
that is fantastic. That is something when I travel with some friends, I'm always looking for, and I find it really, really hard. So how far are you from town?
It's about 10 to 15 minutes at the most.
And so it's all self-contained, so people can take their food, and you provide some food as well?
Absolutely. I provide a lot of food for them. Beautiful local fare, trunky bacon and pork. So bacon and pork sausages, honey pork sausages, Knoblauch eggs, local bottle of wine. We have a beautiful company that makes dips from the local region. A very special hazelnut muesli from the local hazelnut farm that I love to visit. Yep. So we put all that in. For all those young people that want that perfect Instagram shot, we have a small fold of Scottish Highland cattle.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. So I guess the great thing with your services is that we can come and stay at your beautiful villas there, and then you can tour us around in the daytime as well.
Absolutely. Yep. We can package it up. Even if you're staying at accommodation in Orange, we can pick you up from your accommodation in there. Oh, so with Country Food Trails, you don't have to be staying with us, but beautiful spacious villas, beautiful walks. We're close to the lake. There's a beautiful cafe down there. So why wouldn't you?
That's right. That's right. I agree. So what wines to try? It is cool climate, and they have mild summers and cold winters. As Pam noted, the Chardonnay and the Pinot Noir are what it's known for. But I'd also go out on a limb and say, check out the Sauv Blanc. They make some beautiful aromatic white wines, and the Sauv Blanc has tropical flavours that's a little bit different from the gooseberry that you may get from New Zealand ones. Some other cellar door suggestions. I think Philip Shaw, who moved to Orange from being a successful winemaker at Mount Pleasant in the Hunter Valley during the 80s and 90s, really put Orange on the map. He has a lovely cellar door. We had a wonderful experience at DeSalis Wines. Their lofty vineyard is one of the highest vineyards in Australia. They do French-style wines and Bordeaux blends. They have a fabulous piece of artwork in the cellar door, which from my memory is reminiscent of a European church. So you have to check it out to get the story. I'm also a big fan of Cargo Road. I love their fabulous artwork in the cellar door and on their labels. They're also one of the few makers of Zinfandel in Australia, and they offer regular walk and talk sunset tours. And if you don't have a lot of time to visit a lot of cellar doors, then I highly recommend checking out the Union Bank, which is a former bank which is now a wine bar. For a small detour from wine, I've really enjoyed my visits to Small Acres. They make excellent cider, and some of it in the style of wine. Their cat pajamas is a sparkling made in the traditional method, and it ages really well and is delicious. Some other things to see or do. Orange has really blossomed into a beautiful cosmopolitan little town. And if you're like me and you like your fashion, homewares, check out the store Jumbled, located in a former Masonic hall, and it has a cafe on site too. There are heaps of events through the year. The food festival is usually in late March, early April, and events can include things like honey tasting, pick your own chestnuts, apples, berries, and it's harvest time too, so there's lots of wine events. The wine festival is usually in late October, early November. On the Friday night in the Robertson Park, they have a big event where they showcase a lot of the wines. I used to go to the wine festival all the time and had such wonderful experiences. Orange is also a great hub to visiting other regional towns as well. Parkes is an hour away with the huge CSIRO radio telescope, made famous in the movie The Dish. And if you come in January, the Elvis Festival's on. But you must book way in advance for this if you're staying nearby. Dubbo is about an hour and a half away, and it's got the famous Taronga Western Plains Zoo. Canowindra and Cowra are less than an hour away. They've got wines as well and a really rich World War II history, which you can hear more about on episode 23. So some quick stats on the region. Orange is about 3.5 hours to Sydney and 3 hours to Canberra. Accommodation, there's lots of options. We often stayed at the Mid-City Motor Lodge. It's cheap and cheerful, but it's right opposite Robertson Park, which was perfect when the wine festival was on, is clean, convenient, and well priced. And of course, while you're there, check out the Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Until next time, happy wine travels. Thank you so much for listening. You can subscribe now to get each episode as they drop. You can also check out this podcast on YouTube and see pictures of the region and the people I've spoken to. Go to winederlust.com.au, that's winederlust.com.au for everything discussed today. You can also subscribe to my newsletter to hear all about my upcoming events and other news. Till next time, happy wine travels.